5 miles, Angel 6.
Roger, that's the only one I've got right there where the pointer is.
Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Prickly Hedgehog and this is the DCS SITREP, a little addendum from yesterday's video on the open beta patch from March, which was extensive and of course included multi-threading. ED advised that they're very happy with the introduction of multi-threading and the feedback that they're getting from the community. There are a number of bugs that have been collected and a list of known issues is still visible in the multi-threading FAQ on their homepage. I'd like to shout out to all the people that have provided feedback and are contributing heavily during this important testing phase. Obviously that benefits everybody in the community. Of course, this core engine update is one of the more important ones, probably the most important one we've had in recent times, and brings the core engine up to the 21st century in terms of video gaming. And that is really cool because we now have access to extremely powerful hardware, but previously the software was not necessarily taking the best advantage of that, and a lot of you were frustrated with the way that the game ran and weren't getting the best out of it. The overall theme that I'm seeing from the community members is that generally speaking, they're seeing some form of improvement with the game with fairly modern hardware. Not everybody has experienced that, but generally speaking, there has been an overall improvement to the game experience. Now, not everybody's experiencing huge frame rate increases, and this can be a little bit of a misleading thing, but what I am seeing myself and what I'm hearing from other people is that overall, the game has seen a major improvement, working more smoothly and able to run more rich visuals, which is what you would expect from this kind of update. Of course, this is the early on iteration of this particular system in the game. We expect in the future more layers of complexity with this multi-threading being used, and therefore more improvements, hopefully, to our gaming experience where these sophisticated modules are able to take advantage, again, of multi-core processors. There are some caveats with that, which you'll need to look at in the FAQ thread that ED has developed, but that is the intent, and that is what we, with more high-end systems and more modern systems, should be expecting with these updates as they get implemented over the course of this year and future. Really exciting news. Now, speaking of really exciting news, the ED team announced that they have a massive spring sale going on right now with savings of 30% on some modules, 50% on others, and overall, really, there is a good number of sales going on, not only in the eShop, but also on Steam, which is really exciting. This is their annual spring sale, and this is a really good time to pick up some of those modules that maybe you were humming and hawing about, but hadn't pulled the trigger on. Well, do check it out. I see things like the F14, which is a very popular module and really doesn't go on sale very often. That is currently 30% off, which is a good chunk of change. So do check that out. It's worth having a look. Campaigns, maps, or at least terrains, those kinds of things. There's a wealth of stuff in there. And remember, combining some things is worthwhile because you might have a campaign that you want to play, but you don't have the map that that campaign needs to play that particular campaign. So do check out those things as well. Worth bundling some of your stuff together to enjoy those savings and enjoy some of those perhaps campaigns that play out on maps that you just don't currently have. Do some thinking, do some math, and maybe pick up some bargains there so you can enjoy your DCS experience just a little bit more. Now, there was a small patch for open beta last week, which some of you would have seen if you logged into the game. I wasn't actually aware that they had done that. And as I said, this is a bit of an addendum video today just because I didn't have time to put everything together yesterday. And I wanted to do the reaction that I had from the huge open beta patch. Some of these open beta patches are so big, it's just not possible to put it all in the DCS SITREP. So we'll start doing those maybe independently as time allows. Anyway, this patch was just a small one. Just a small changelog. A couple of fixes, of course, for multi-threading. They have created a special multi-threading mission uploading mode to decreased mission opening time. They have fixed the export viewports, which were being corrupted. They have fixed the missing cockpit tooltips for VR users. In multiplayer, there was a crash when trying to control static via command panel. Multiplayer crash when the 052B destroyer use target lock. That's been fixed. Multi-threading random stretched cockpit resolution issue. That has been fixed. And also for multi-threading, the hypoxia effect visual was broken. That's been corrected. They've also fixed the smoke and craters from explosions flicker and lag in the TV mode of the targeting pod. Good news there. Speaking of targeting pods, the Viper's targeting pod picture was extremely bright. That level has now been adjusted. They've also added quick start missions for the A10C2 with the correct use of the new ARC 210 radio, which is good news. The Apache saw some fixes too, such as the rockets falling at less than 4 kilometers, I think, and the RWR doesn't see radiation from an azimuth of 270 to 300 degrees, among a few other things. Big tragedy, apparently the Mi-24P, the Hind, well, the cockpit fan animation was missing, and of course this is absolute sacrilege. ED has corrected that, thankfully. P51 also got a canopy closed keybind. Opens was corrected, and the Mirage 2000C by Razbam, the broken auxiliary ADI, IDN, and G-meter altimeter switches has been fixed. It is an FPS hit with many bullet impact over time. That needs to be corrected. And a big issue here for them is that the RWR stops registering contacts with multiple clients. Now that's a high priority fix for ED, but apparently it needs more time to fix. So that is something that definitely needs to be rectified. So they're aware of that. Hopefully that is something that they can correct here soon. So that really is the nuts and bolts of the last little patch that we saw. No doubt there will be more. And remember that the overall goal is to improve our multi-threading experiences. Let me know how things are going with multi-threading. Like I said in yesterday's video, I'm still doing some testing. I have just been given some access to a new map to enjoy. I can't tell you which one just yet, and I haven't been given permission to release any details, but I am going to have a little play with that. That's really, really exciting. So stay tuned for more information as time goes on. I'm really enjoying the general direction in which ED is taking right now. Multi-threading is long overdue, and as I said before, it is one of the most important updates to date, getting for the core engine, and everything else is starting to fall into line and making our flight experiences just that much more enjoyable. So, like I said, a quick addendum there. Thanks for tuning in again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As I said yesterday, we're very close to 10,000 subscribers. If you want to support the channel a little bit more, look for the heart icon, the super thanks button below. I really appreciate all the support that I get. It helps the channel chug along. Like I said, we're aiming for 10,000 subscribers here. Take care. This has been the DCS SITREP. This is Prickly Hedgehog. We'll see you next time. Cheers.